Hey everybody, welcome back to Mondays with Moss, a weekly video series on living an extraordinary life, a life of success, accomplishment, and happiness. I've been doing this about 4 months, and over the last few months, we've been really looking at how we go about living an average life. And my program is about living an extraordinary life. Last week, I talked about the mind and something I called the invisible force that takes us over. Its intention is not to hurt us, but the mind, which is the invisible force, is not really in some ways very powerful, particularly the mind that comes out of feeling anxious and worried, and it kind of develops a story about life that then envelops us. And many times we have no idea that we're living a story, not living a great life. So to live an extraordinary life, you have to get free from your story. So you have to make a decision, from my point of view, the decision that you do not want to suffer anymore, to give up the struggle of trying to prove something to yourself and other people. It's a decision based upon enjoying your life as it is, even if you don't like your circumstances, whether or not you're getting disapproval, problems from your job, some money problems, it doesn't matter. It's just the stuff of everyday life. Shakespeare, in his stories and his poems and his plays, said it beautifully. The whole world's a stage, and we're about actors on it. So it's key to be able to enjoy the performance that you're living, because you're the main star. You're also the producer and the director, and most of the time, the audience. So suffering. So we all have pain in our life. Things don't work out the way we want. But suffering comes from the worry. Basically, the worry of the what if, the dreaded what if. What if I get called upon in class to give a talk, to give an answer? What if I mess up my presentation in a sales pitch? What if I don't close my sales pitch? What if I get taken advantage of again? Oh, God, I got taken advantage of so much. What if it happens again? So ending suffering requires two things. You need to cope and take the right actions in the external world, but you also need to notice, understand, and manage your internal world, the world of your story. You need to recognize your story, and if you don't like it, you got to be the author of your life and change your story. And you need to navigate both the outside world and the internal world. So last week we talked about the prison, the invisible force called your prison guard. So let's talk a little bit more about the internal world and what you can do to manage that. Number one, you need to stop taking yourself so personally. The world does not wake up thinking about how to make you miserable. It really doesn't care that much. People are worried about their own lives, or you could take advantage of them. So don't take it so personally. Also, I think many of us have been mistreating our minds, expecting our minds to make us happy. You say, I want to be happy. I don't want to be disapproved of. I don't want to be hurt anymore. And you expect our mind to figure it out and make us happy and make us feel good. The fact is, your mind cannot do it. It doesn't have the capacity or the bandwidth. Actually, our minds remind me of Melvin. Melvin was a 10-year-old who, when I graduated high school, I was working at a day camp in New Brunswick, New Jersey. And Melvin was a pretty punchy little kid, and he was very, very boastful and very, very happy. I could do anything. I could hit the ball, catch the ball, I could run, I could jump, I could draw. He always wanted to be first in everything. Well, came the day of our swimming test, and we came to the edge of the pool, and I said, in order to swim in the deep water, everyone has to pass a swimming test. Can anybody swim in deep water? Melvin jumps in front of everybody and says, I can do it, I can do it, I can do it. Okay, Melvin, I said, why don't you kind of lead the way, jump in the water and swim, 20 feet over and come back. So Melvin jumps in the water with a dash of adventure, and he sinks. He just sinks to the bottom. So I had to jump in, take him out, and as I pull him out of the water, he's like, ah! So I say, Melvin, you can't swim. He says, no, I can't. So he did not have the capacity to swim in deep water. Well, it's like our minds are like Melvin. It doesn't have the capacity. See, our minds and our brains are still kind of hunter-gatherers, 60, 70,000-year-old brain that hasn't quite figured out how to make us happy. It's more into helping us survive. So the way it goes is you present your mind with a problem. Something is not good enough. Basically, I'm not good enough or smart enough or lovable enough. The mind then responds accordingly. It keeps giving you advice on your not good enough life. And once in the head, this backseat driver or prison guard says things like, try harder, get a promotion. Come on, find the right person to make you happy. It gives advice based on fear and rumination, not happiness, confidence, and compassion. And repeats it over and over again, trying to control your external life to make you happy. It's like eating peanut butter when you're thirsty. It just doesn't work. Peanut butter is great, but it won't satisfy your thirst. So here are some actions you can take to get some control of your mind, okay? Stop, look, and listen. Recognize your mind is not capable of solving whatever you think your problem is. Recognize it's too outside focused. Recognize it's often controlled by fear and anxiety. Recognize the root of the problem may be based upon a very long ago decision you made about life. Life is dangerous, you're not smart enough, you're not lovable enough. And these early decisions get stuck in our minds like a record or a useless file cabinet. We keep going back to our minds trying to solve the same problem over and over again. It's redundant. It's like a record that got stuck, the needle got stuck and it can't get away. So the mind is not doing this on purpose. It's not our enemy. Life unfolds, but the mind says it's not supposed to be this way because that's how the story goes. So it tries to make everything okay, coming from it's not okay. Here's a radical idea. Thank your mind for trying so hard. It really is like the little engine that could. It's like Melvin. Let's give it a break and say, thanks, mind, for trying to help me out. But you probably don't have the capacity. Recognize that you're not your mind or your thoughts. Watch your thoughts like cars passing by. Just passing by and ask yourself, are these thoughts useful? Here's an exercise. When you get triggered by something, if something jams you up, like you didn't get a phone call, someone didn't say hi, someone didn't pay a bill, notice your feelings. Am I feeling upset, angry, scared, sad? Notice if your mind is telling you a story. See, once again, I'm being taken advantage of, or I can't catch a break. Everyone else wins, but not me. That's a story. Watch your story. Make sure your feet are on the ground and say, look, this sounds like a story. See if you can reframe your story. Come up with a different explanation. It's really helpful to come up with 2 or 3 different answers to the same question and not stay stuck on that scratch in the record. Ask yourself, is it important regarding that experience? If it's important, maybe you can say, what can I do about this to stay back in connection or contact and feel some control? I wonder if you ask yourself a different question entirely. I wonder how I would feel if there was nothing wrong. What if I got up in the morning and whatever happened, disapproval, getting the sale, not getting the sale, someone saying hello, someone not saying hello, there's nothing wrong. It's just life unfolding, an actor on the stage. What if life were just an adventure? What if my mission in life was to learn and grow? What if I stopped taking things so personally and had a lighter touch? What if I could love my life no matter what? Whoa, I wonder how your life would turn out then. Maybe extraordinary. So here are some key points. We tend to live our life as a story, and we believe our story. Therefore, our life is a story. It's been there a long time. Most of the time, we're not aware of this invisible force. It's very helpful to learn to listen to the voice because the voice is just trying to help us be more successful. But it's like Melvin, it doesn't do a great job. If you have time and you're listening to your voice and you think this is helpful, write down what your voice is saying. You might even ask it, what do you want me to do, voice? What do you want me to do, mind? Now remember, this story of ours creates a filter through which we see and experience everything in our life. So if you can learn to recognize the filter, you might take out the filter and put a new filter in, which is change your story. You change your thinking, you change your beliefs, you change your story, change your mind, change your life. So we work very hard and not very successfully trying to get happiness by changing things in the outside world, becoming control maniacs. and it doesn't work. People resist or trying to change them. It might be better to change your story, to change your brain, to change your life. Again, write down your story as you hear it. Ask it what it wants. You might ask, what's the underlying need? Is it a need for safety, a need for control, a need for love and approval? So that's it for today, folks, my live broadcast. Sometimes I do broadcasts and I record it on YouTube. In fact, I have a YouTube channel. And there are times you'll see my videos coming from YouTube. I hope you tune into those too. I think most of you like the live broadcasts like this, that I'm just here talking and telling you, sharing with my ideas spontaneously. And I really appreciate your support and your attention. And I hope you stay tuned. If you like these broadcasts, eventually I'm going to turn them into a book, How to Live an Extraordinary Life, a life of success, accomplishment, and happiness. That might be the title, but we'll see. It'll take about a year. But in the meantime, if you like what I'm saying, tune in on a regular basis. And also check out my books on Amazon. I have, I think, 2 books on Amazon. Got good reviews. One is a bestseller. And I hope you're living an extraordinary day. Have a great time. And don't take things too personally. Okay, folks, see you soon.